Hi everyone, this is Sean, Bid for Assets Digital Marketing Manager. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to participate in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania sheriff sale auctions on Bid for Assets. The first thing you'll need to do to participate in this or any auction available on Bid for Assets is register for a free Bid for Assets account if you haven't done so already. There are no monthly fees required to maintain your account. It is completely free, and the registration process only takes a few minutes to complete. To begin, you'll want to go to the top navigation bar on bidforassets.com and select Sign Up. From there, you'll be prompted to provide an email address and to create a password. That password will be what you use to log into your Bid for Assets account, as well as confirm bids. So be sure to write it down or make it something you're confident you'll remember. From there, you'll need to provide some basic contact information, confirm your phone number, and finally, log into your email account to confirm the email address you've placed on file and complete registration. Bid for Assets has a video walking you through every step of this process, and you can access that video by going to bidforassets.com/videos. You'll see that we've got many videos here walking you through the various steps of a Bid for Assets auction, including registering an account. Now, after you've created your account, the next thing that you'll want to do is go to the landing page on Bid for Assets for Schuylkill County sheriff sale auctions. You can do this from the Bid for Assets homepage by selecting the sheriff sales/foreclosures display here to the right of our map. From there, you can just find the state of Pennsylvania, scroll down the list of available sheriff sales, and select Schuylkill County. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to here on the landing page is the display up top that says sales date. Selecting sales date here will display a list of dates for upcoming auctions. And then selecting one of those dates will generate a list of properties currently available on that date. So for example, when I select April 11th here, you will see that it generates a list displaying only properties that are scheduled for that auction date. If there are more than 15 properties on a particular auction date, which there are here, you can use the arrows at the bottom of the list to move from page to page. And you can use the arrows at either end here to go to the first page of the list or the last page of the list, respectively. Bid for Assets also offers a free tool to download the property list as an Excel spreadsheet. You can access that by going back up here towards the sales date display and selecting Download Property List. You'll need to be logged into your account in order to use this tool, but it's a great way to sort through the property list, especially if you want to search by details like township or zip code. There are also tools that you can use to the right of the list, such as a keyword search. So, for example, if I knew that I was looking for property in Pottsville, I could just type Pottsville into the search, and you'll see the list now will only generate properties with the word Pottsville in their description. Another great way to just quickly filter through the list of available properties. Now, it's important to remember that each auction date is treated as its own event, and it will typically have a deposit specific to that date. So, in other words, if you'd like to bid in multiple auctions for Schuylkill County's April 11th sheriff sale, you can do that. And you will only need to submit a single deposit. And that deposit will qualify you to bid on every single auction in Schuylkill County opening on April 11th. However, if you wanted to then also bid in Schuylkill County's June 13th sheriff sale, you would need to submit a separate deposit in order to do this. Now, if you end up submitting a deposit, let's say for April 11th, and then for whatever reason you don't bid, or you don't win any of the available auctions, you do have the option to transfer your deposit to Schuylkill County's next sheriff sale. You can do this after the auction from your Bid for Assets account in the My Bid Deposits section. Just log into your account, select My Bid Deposits after the auction has ended, and from there, you'll be able to transfer your deposit to Schuylkill County's next sheriff sale. When it comes to actually submitting your deposit, there are two methods that you can use. Those are certified check and wire transfer. Deposits should be sent directly to Bid for Assets, and you can obtain instructions for submitting your deposit from any individual auction page for the sheriff sale. So to get started, you can just click on any auction here. It doesn't necessarily have to be the auction that you want to bid in. And you can select click here for deposit instructions here in the orange area. You'll need to be logged into your Bid for Assets account in order to do this. So you'll see that before you can obtain deposit instructions, you will need to provide pre-vesting information detailing how you would want any property that you win to be titled. Just like with registration, Bid for Assets has a video guide walking you through every step of this process, and you can access that video by going to bidforassets.com/videos. You see we've got a video dedicated to how to submit your deposit. Once Bid for Assets receives your deposit, it will be processed and you will be notified via email and your Bid for Assets message center when you've been cleared to bid. If you don't win any of the available auctions and you choose not to transfer your deposit over to Schuylkill County's next sheriff sale, then your deposit will be returned to you via a printable e-check that will come to the email address on your account within 10 business days of the auction's close. That's why when you're creating your account, it's very important that you provide the email address you'd want your deposits to be sent back to. You can print that e-check and take it to your bank, or you can scan it using a mobile app, just like a normal paper check. Now, let's take a closer look at an individual auction page for Schuylkill County and talk a little bit about due diligence. The auction page has any available information that the sheriff's office can provide to assist you with your due diligence. Neither the sheriff nor Bid for Assets will have any additional information on the property, not about its condition or its value or its title status. Everything that we can provide about the property is available here on the auction page. Because of this, it is very important that you complete your own due diligence before bidding on a property. This includes researching the condition of the property, as well as any relevant information on the property's title status, whether it is free of any liens, etc. Both the sheriff's office and Bid for Assets would recommend that you consult with an attorney before purchasing property from a sheriff's sale. The Bid for Assets president led an hour-long webinar on how to research tax sale properties, providing some tips and some tools that can assist with doing that research ahead of an auction. And much of the information from that webinar will also apply to sheriff sales. Again, you can find that by going to bidforassets.com/videos. You'll see our due diligence guide available there. Something I'll pull from that video and say here is that While you should never set foot on a property that's scheduled for a sheriff's sale, because that would constitute trespassing, it may be a good idea, if you can, to drive by and view the exterior of a property prior to bidding on it. So once the auction opens, as long as you have a cleared deposit, you've been cleared to bid, and you are logged into your Bid for Assets account, you should be able to go to the auction page and start placing your bids. What will happen is that this click here for deposit instructions display will disappear, and instead you will then have a bid box. Here, let me see if I can show what that actually looks like for one of our private auctions. So this click here for deposit instructions will vanish, and in its place you will see a bid box where you can go in and enter whatever amount you'd want to bid on the auction. Now, something to keep in mind is that you can either choose to bid up to the maximum by small increments for an auction, or you can select the maximum amount that you're willing to bid right at the start of bidding and allow Bid for Assets auto bid system to bid up to that amount on your behalf. The auto bid system will only bid as much as is needed to ensure that you remain the high bidder. You won't necessarily reach your maximum unless other participants bid up to that amount. Our system ensures that you will win the property for the lowest amount that you feasibly could win it for. Now remember, in most cases for a sheriff's sale, the lender will also be bidding on the property. So that's an amount that you're going to need to exceed in order to be the high bidder and purchase the property at the end of the auction. You'll see here that auctions for Schuylkill County will be open from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Plus, each auction will have a 5-minute overtime period. What this means is that if a bid is placed in the final 5 minutes of the auction clock will reset to display 5 minutes left. This prevents a bidder from coming in and snipe bidding the auction when there's only a few seconds left to go. It's meant to simulate a live auction where you have an auctioneer saying, going once, going twice, sold. Every participant gets the chance to bid the maximum amount that they're willing to bid on a property. So you want to be keeping an eye on the auction as it's getting ready to close, because we've seen auctions go for a couple of hours after they're scheduled to close as people continue to bid, and that overtime clock continues to reset. The auction will continue until 5 minutes have passed with nobody placing a bid. It does not end until that happens. So let's say the auction ends, and now it's time to talk about settlement terms, or the timelines and amounts that will be due after the auction closes. These will be located on each auction page. You can see here settlement requirements towards the bottom of the auction page where those terms are outlined. You can also find them directly on the main landing page for the sale. See, right below the property list, we have settlement instructions. You can view those terms here. And we strongly encourage you to familiarize yourself with the settlement terms, because you must have the funds available to meet the payment timelines stated, or you could be placed in default and you may be banned from future auctions. So, when all of the bidding on a particular sheriff's sale has concluded, that means every auction available here on April 11th has closed, either with bidding or the auction's closed with no bids. Once everything is closed, that's when you will receive an email letting you know if you've won any of the available auctions. And that email will also provide you with settlement instructions for submitting your final payment. So, to recap some key points. to participate in Schuylkill County Sheriff sales, you're going to want to 1. Register for a free Bid for Assets account. 2. Visit the Schuylkill County Sheriff Sale landing page on Bid for Assets and select the date of the auction that you wish to review. 3. Obtain deposit instructions and send your deposit for the auction or auctions that you wish to bid on. Remember, you only need to submit one deposit for one auction date, and you can bid on every auction opening on that date. 4. Thoroughly research the properties that you intend to bid on and place your bids when the auctions open. Additionally, read the auction settlement terms ahead of time and be absolutely sure that you have the funds ready to complete the sale on any auction that you win. And finally, 5, if you are a successful bidder, follow the instructions in your post-auction email to complete your settlement. Again, sheriff sales can be complicated, so we encourage you to do your due diligence ahead of the sale and consult with an attorney ahead of the sale. Bid for Assets is here to help with live customer service available over 40 hours a week. You can always feel free to reach out to us by going to bidforassets.com/contact. You can also obtain our contact information by going back to the top nav section of the website and selecting Contact Us. That will provide you with our customer service team's email address and phone number. Again, you can reach out to us at any time. Until then, we hope this video was helpful for you, and we wish you the best of luck with your next auction on Bid for Assets.